Welcome back, geographers. Who were the first peoples to live in the United States east of the Mississippi? Early America. Native American peoples were the first humans to settle in North America. Each group had its own language, religion, and lifestyle. The Cherokee, the Iroquois, the Miami, and the Shawnee settled east of the Mississippi River. They are considered indigenous to the region, meaning that they were descended from the first people to live there. Native Americans satisfied their needs by using the plants, animals, stones, water, and soil around them. Their ways of life were shaped by the environment. Peoples who lived in wooded areas made homes of bark and wood. They burned wood for heat. They hunted for food and used animal skins for clothing. Native peoples built shelters suited to the climates where they lived. People who lived in hot climates built open-air homes. Other groups built solid structures and mound cities. For most of their history, Native Americans lived isolated from people of other parts of the world. They lived off the land for thousands of years. They had little impact on the natural environment. Suddenly, the land they relied on was taken from them. When the first Europeans arrived, native people's ways of life changed forever. People across the Atlantic Ocean, in Europe, grew interested in the Americas. They heard tales of these wild, rich lands. Explorers told of endless forests, rivers full of fish, and mountains filled with gold and silver. European kings and queens wanted to claim land in North America and control the natural resources. The first English colonists settled along the Atlantic coast. Over the years, more Europeans came to America. By 1760, an estimated 1.7 million colonists lived in America. Large cities such as Boston and New York City started as small settlements. By 1750, there were 13 English colonies in North America. These colonies were controlled by English rulers thousands of miles away. The colonists did not like the laws and taxes the British government forced on them. In 1776, American colonists declared their independence and fought the Revolutionary War. The war ended in 1781, when the British surrendered. The 13 colonies were free. They called their new country the United States of America, settling the land. The new nation stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mississippi River. However, little was known about the land west of the Appalachian Mountains. As more settlers arrived, people began to move inland. They wanted to claim land and build new lives. Between 1700 and 1800, thousands of people settled along the Mississippi River. The Mississippi formed a natural boundary. The U.S. government wanted to claim as much of America's land as possible. Laws such as the Land Ordinance of 1785 governed settlement in new lands. Native Americans living on lands in the Ohio Country were forced to leave. Land Ordinance of 1785 gave the United States legal claim to the Ohio Country, land north of the Ohio River and east of the Mississippi River. Settlers could buy sections of land for $1 per acre. They could also set aside land to be used for schools. Farms in this region produced much of our country's fruits, vegetables, grains, and cotton. Good soil and frequent rain made the area good for agriculture. Planting and harvesting crops was hard work, done mainly by hand. Over the years, machines began to replace human workers. Farmers could plant and harvest more crops. However, fewer people were needed to work on farms. Thousands of people moved to cities looking for work. New technology led to jobs in factories for millions of people. This is known as industry. Industry is an important part of the economy of this region. Thousands of factories have been built. They produce many goods, including cars. Some factories process foods and bottled drinks. This has been one of the world's leading industrial regions for over 200 years. People came to America to be free. They sought jobs, education, and other opportunities. Immigration has led to an amazing variety of languages, religions, cultures, and customs east of the Mississippi. These traditions have made America a unique and diverse nation. In the 1830s, gold was discovered in the southeast. Settlers poured in. Most did not find gold, but many stayed to start cotton farms. U.S. citizens wanted these lands. The government forced the Cherokee to leave these lands, which had been their home. In 1838, The Cherokee were forced to migrate to Indian Territory in Oklahoma. This was far west of the Mississippi River. Thousands of Cherokee died as a result of the journey. This event became known as the Trail of Tears. This was one of many forced migrations in America's history. As America gained territory, Native Americans lost their lands and ways of life. After the Civil War, slavery became illegal in all states. Yet many states passed laws to take away the new rights of the freed Americans. During the late 1800s, thousands of African Americans moved to states in the Mid-Atlantic, New England, and the Midwest. This relocation of people from the South to the North is called the Great Migration. Rural to urban migration increased during the 1900s. Millions of people moved to cities to work in factories. It was one of the largest migrations in America's history.